Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. And it's always a pleasure to come in on our Saturday training. And this morning, we want to really focus on a very important aspect on the My Business menu in your back office. Now, before we begin, just like to welcome everybody. And Robert Bakley, great to see you here. Again, love your good morning walk star. And you were there right at 10 a.m., actually, maybe a little even earlier than that. So appreciate you. Jim from New Brunswick, welcome. And let's see here. What do we have? We have Lee Armara. I don't know which one of you is 63 today, but happy birthday. Great to have you with us here. And certainly appreciate you taking your precious time to be with us this morning. That for us shows commitment. Well done. Let's see here. We have MC from Texas. We have Gaetano. Welcome. Great to have you here. Guylaine, bonjour. Bienvenue. We have Chris here from Limburg, Virginia. Welcome. We have Urban Soder. Great to have you from Sweden. That is a country we haven't visited yet.
I know. I want to go.
Yes, we see a lot on the movies, but not in real time or real life. Courtney from Toronto, Canada. Welcome. Esther from Accra. Welcome. Bill from London, Ontario. Hey, Bill. Welcome. We have Melanie here from Papua New Guinea. Great to have you with us here. Welcome.
Diana. Guinea.
Oh, Guinea. Oh, my God. Okay. I apologize. La Côte d'Ivoire. Great to have you here. In Guinea, actually, just not far from Côte d'Ivoire. Let's see here. We have Barbara Ann. Great to have you here from Port Stanley, Ontario. We have Fulera from Belgium. I know you're testing me here, Fulera. I know it's Belgium. Okay, we have Johnny here from Ghana. We have Everton from Jamaica. Great to have you here. We have Hernan from Panama. Nice, beautiful city.
Yeah.
We have Chip from Nashville. We have Oliver. Great to have you here. We have Analita from South Africa. Welcome. We have Gideon. Great to have you from Accra, Ghana. We have Gloria. Great to have you. And let's see here. We have Albert and we have Kelly and Royal Fernandez. Great to have you here from Tennessee. And just keep them coming here, folks. Tammy and I really look forward to share this with you. You know, folks, the business aspect of GotBackup is absolutely amazing. And I think it's important that we cover some of the basics in reference to what's available in your back office to keep you in tune with your business. Anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
No, I think that's the most important thing is to know what you have available that can help you grow your business. And the business section, I mean, there's some great stuff in there. And keep in mind, GotBackup is always evolving. So don't think that you're going to go into your back office once in a while and everything's going to be the same, because it's always growing, always evolving. So I highly recommend to stay tuned to what's new. Mm-hmm. And also on the Facebook channel. I know that Joel posted something recent on the Facebook channel, which I thought was amazing in the My Business section. And you can actually tell on your direct affiliates, you can tell who is doing their uploads for their devices and which device. So I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And we all saw that on the Facebook channel, those who are plugged in. And the key is to plug in, but not just yourself. If your team members are plugged in, then you're growing this business together.
Absolutely. And so what we're going to be focusing on here is the My Business, this section over here. And it's important that you log into your back office. Now, obviously, in past trainings, we spent a lot of time in not almost every presentation Tammy and I host. We always talk about use this tool and your reseller tools in multiple languages. Make sure that you go back to past recording call, because this is the area where, first of all, you want to make sure that your new associates always install the software for the phone and the computer if they do have a computer. And of course, the tools that are there, which are the funnels that you can send to the world, to your social media, your email marketing, as you're talking to people. At the end of the day, whenever they are opting in, what I mean by that is they put their name and their emails. And again, I'm not going into the details here because that's not what the training is all about. But I think it's important that we mention that, because that is the entry point of your business for your prospects. And these funnels will capture their information, name and email, and then your system starts sending emails. Now, again, when you start your Got Backup opportunity, there are some upsells, and the upsells are the email programs, the email that are designed for you. The one that it's done for the pre-enrollee, which is either 199, you get something like 29 emails, or if you decline this one, it will turn out to be the $99, which is 10 emails, okay, which is what Tammy and I have used. And a 199 is also awesome. At the time, I just didn't know, but we just lived with what we did 2 years ago. And of course, if you are taking advantage of the new funnel, the one that's the automated funnel that really explains the business, the details. Again, you can find that into the use reseller tools. Let me just click on that because I think that's an important point that we talk about this. This particular over here, you can also buy the emails, and I highly recommend to buy them because Joel is a professional in getting people to open their emails and convert and engage. So you want to follow his lead with the subjects and the content, and of course you can always modify the signatures and the details inside. Again, there's a lot of trainings that Tammy and I have done on the past Saturdays, which you can access. If I go to our YouTube channel, let me just go right there. So while we're here, we're going to point out to it, and let's go to let's see here, the global opportunity. Okay, over here, the virtual, this over here. I'm just going to put that, and I put it into the comment section for those of you that might be new. I really recommend that you subscribe to this. The reason why it's not because I have it subscribed from other channels, but you can see here that there is a live session going on, and there's playlist over here. On the playlist, you're going to go under Got Backup Team Training Sessions. If you click on the View Full Playlist, you're going to see all the calls that's been hosted for quite a long time. Okay, everything is in here. So I'm going to stop there and just go back to where we were. So again, folks, this here is an awesome funnel, folks. A lot of different network marketing companies do not offer funnels like these to help you build your business. You have to pay $100 a month or $200 a month. I'm not kidding. This is US dollars to deal with either ClickFunnels on other companies like those, which are third-party companies to help you promote your business. It's all included with your $997, folks. This is such an amazing deal. It just blows my mind every time I talk about it. Okay, so this is
Joel is so generous. I've never met somebody who just wants to keep adding to the value of the $9.97. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, folks. So you got everything you need, price point everyone can afford with a tool that everybody needs. And now we're going to cover the My Business segment over here. We're going to cover those things. They're very, very, very simple. And Tammy, feel free to pitch in and anytime. Sometime I kind of take over. Just feel free to step in here. So in the commission overview, okay, I'm going to start with this because that's the one at the top of the field list. Now, I'm in the demo account, folks, okay? So keep in mind that the numbers over here are basic numbers from an account that is not currently active, but the functions are there. The menus are there, so I can point out to you. So you can actually look at yearly, and this is really good because it tells you how much you got paid so far, okay? Like Tammy and I right now, I know in my account, I'm up to something like $150,000. So this is really, really awesome. We didn't start from bigger amounts. We started from very small amounts, and it's been evolving. So this will show you the amount over here. But in the same time, you can see the growth that's been going on. Again, that's not an active account, so you're not going to see real numbers here because nobody's building this account. But you can see from January 2025, February, March, April, all the way to December, you can see here, this is what you want to focus on is your earnings and see if things are growing. Okay. If they're not growing, it's probably because you're not utilizing the funnels and the tools to promote your business. Okay. So that's right. And another one, you can actually see that over here. You can see here the amount. January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so we're currently in the month of June. It shows you the income you've earned and the amount of people that have opted in, and the clicks and the hits and everything else. Now, you can also go monthly if you want, which is also interesting. If you go for the month of June, for example, you click on View. Okay. So what it's going to do is going to show you daily what's happening in your business and what you've earned on the first, on the second, on the third. So you can really micromanage your business here and see what's going on in daily, right? How many times people have clicked your links and so forth. And again, the sales, these are every time you make a sale. So every time you sign up someone and they buy into it, you're going to see a number over here. And these are the earnings that you've done for the month of June. Okay, for some the 1st of June, and this goes on every single day. Again, it's just an added portion of the report that can give you some direction on how well you're doing and what's going on in your business. Let's go on. So let me go into my my commission. If you click on my commission, and
Can I just jump right in
yeah,
there,
go ahead,
Chris?
Tammy.
Yeah, I mean, when Chris goes back a step, you'll notice that a lot of things that you click on the top right, you'll see an orange icon,
It'll be
and
over
that
here.
is watch training video. And that's what I did in every single step. The moment I joined the company, late at night, when I had the time, and I did my prospecting and following up and all that stuff. And later in the evening, I just took a little bit of time and I clicked on every single icon to find out if there was a video. And then I'd watch the video to make sure that I understand everything that's going on. And that's why we're able to teach, because we're always in there, we're always evolving and knowing what's available for us to grow our business. So I highly recommend to be watching these videos.
Yes. Now over here, what I usually do, I would select monthly, and I would select the current month. For example, the past month, you can click on that. When you click on search, again, remember, this is not an active account. The numbers you see here are just for the purpose of demonstration. But you can see here, and you will have your report here according to the income that you receive. If you get paid on all 7 points of the commissionable payouts in a comp plan, you will see on the bottom, like over here, it will expand with all the different commission on the 7 different commission levels that you have with GotBackup. Okay, so just wanted to let you know on that. And folks, the reason why I'm not showing this is because in North America, it is not legal for me to show you how much I'm making and all of these things.
No.
The reason why is because governments don't think that you're smart enough to figure out that you need to work to make this money. So if I show you what I'm making, I may influence you. And that's the reason why we can't really show amounts. We can't show specific details. It's just the way it is here. It's always been that way. And for that reason, I'm using an MO account. But understand, folks, that this is absolutely real. There's 7 ways you get paid in GotBackup. And the 7 ways will be displayed over here when you select my commission. Some of you that I know are gold, you're going to start seeing the people you're sponsored. You're going to see the cycle bonus, right? And you're going to also see the number 4, which is generation bonus. You're going to start seeing that. And as you move up from a gold to a platinum, you're going to notice that your cycle is going to move from tier 1 to tier 2. You're going to see that. Okay. And of course, you're going to also see the generation. When you move up to Sapphire, right, which is the one after that, then what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing the direct commissions. You're going to see the cycle bonus, and you're going to see that you're in tier 2. But now you're going to see the matching cycle. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? So as you start qualifying for these bonuses, that report over here on Grand, it will expand. Okay. And there's another area you can check this out, but that's what I usually do to see what's going on. Okay. So you can go back past month, in a current month. And of course, in a current month, you're not going to see that report until the month closes. So for example, when you go back to the month of July, and let's say July 1st or July 2nd, or as you know, we get paid every Friday we GotBackup. And I'll come back to setting up your commissions in a minute here. And on that Friday, when you get paid and the commissions are calculated, that's when the entire report shows up. Okay. And sometimes you'll find that in your commissions, there's like a bar, right? That is kind of there telling you commissions are being calculated. Okay. Yeah. And that's totally cool. But there's another way you can check your commissions even before it shows on this report. And I'll show you where that is in a minute. Okay. Now, instead of clicking here to set up your account, I'm going to click right there, which will take you to the same space. Anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
No, I was just going to say that, but you already did it. It's all good.
Okay. So if you go to your commission payout options, okay. Now it explains here a little bit of the understanding, because Pay Quicker is a bit different from Wise. If you select Wise and you enter your email there, then when you go through the process of creating your account, it will, in real time, you're going to start creating your account. It's going to ask you for personal information, bank information, all of this stuff until it's all set up. And then whenever there's a payout into your into your back office, well, GotBackup, what they do is they recognize that you're set up with Wise, and the payout will be sent to your account in Wise. Okay. Tammy and I personally prefer Pay Quicker. Pay Quicker is a much older system. It's very robust. I like it, but
it was
works.
An easier system for setting it up. I
think so too. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different, because here, when you select this option, you put your email there, and your account is not going to be created until there's an actual payment. Mm-hmm. See, Pay Quicker is a very big corporation that's paying people from all over the world. So you can appreciate that there's a lot of members. And for them to take the time to acknowledge and create your account and everything else, they want to wait that you receive a payment. So the moment there's $1, which whatever you earn, I know that GotBackup will send a minimum of $20 or whatever, and then it will be sent out to Pay Quicker, okay? Because they will have the email there, and GotBackup knows exactly what to do. The amount will be shipped or sent over to Pay Quicker, and then Pay Quicker will send you an email to initiate the process of creating your account. And then you go through the whole process of creating your account. And when it's done, then you can choose, oh, okay, I want to deposit this into my bank account, or I want to use their credit card, whatever you want to use. I know Tammy and I, we make a living out of this. I don't want my money to be in a credit card account. I want my money to be in my bank account, in US account, in my case. In Canada, we have the advantage of getting paid in US into a US account. In some countries, it may be forced upon you to do the conversion, but Pay Quicker has a great conversion rate, by the way. Okay. So just thought of mentioning that, but there's a lot of information here, and there's a $2 activation. And folks, this is very cheap, to be honest with you, because in the past, what was the name of the company? I forgot what it was, but they were charging like $16 for every transaction. So Pay Quicker is very cost effective. I really like
the Payoneer, remember?
Yeah, Payoneer. That's what it was. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And the fact here is, what's really cool now is before, let me just go back to, now that we've covered this, I'm going to go out to payout history, my payout history. Okay. So you noticed here, I used to check this on and off because I didn't want the transfer to occur to my bank account, because before Payoneer had a different structure, and there were extra charges every time you do a transfer. Okay. But with Pay Quicker, it's a very simple process. It goes directly into the bank account. So there's no fees really. Every time you do a transfer, it just compounds into my Pay Quicker account. Now, I'm not sure about Wise because I haven't used Wise. And the reason is it's not as user-friendly for Canadians. So I prefer Pay Quicker, me personally, because you can keep things in US and everything else, where Wise for us, it was forcing us to convert in Canadian. And because many of you may be aware of that, we have properties in the United States. We live in the US 5 months out of the year. I'm not interested in getting things in Canadian dollars and pay again and giving more fees to the bank, because now I have to reconvert in the US. For that reason, I prefer Pay Quicker. Okay. But in some countries, Wise is a lot more user-friendly, and it doesn't impose certain things that in Canada we're imposed upon. Okay. So over here, one of the things is I always leave this on. Every Friday, if I sponsored people, or some of my personals, I've sponsored people and they bought some packages and whatever, at the end of the day, it gets accumulated. And every Friday, I see a payment that goes into my Pay Quicker, and it just compounds. And once a month, once the month of June is completed, like I did for the month of May, then I transfer the amount into my US account, and then I distribute what I need in US and what I need in Canadians, and invest some of the rest to make sure that we are planning for our retirement. As you hear our presentations every week, we always take a portion that goes into investments for retirement. And I do recommend you do that. You don't spend every single dime, of course, as you grow your account. At the beginning, it might just pay for your GotBackup service, and for some of you, it may pay some credit card payments. Maybe for some of you, it may be paying for your rent, whatever that is. Okay. Anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
I'm just looking at the comments, and Gaetano, it's great that you're sharing some feedback on the whys, because I think it's important that everybody gets that feedback from the two different portals. So thank you so much for that, for sharing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. In some countries, rules might be a little bit different. In Canada, we're a little bit squeezed in some cases, in many ways, when it comes to income, and we don't have the same flexibility in some other markets. Go ahead, Tammy.
Everybody's different, so it depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly, it depends, and we adjust based on the way the economy functions in our country, and we just try to make the best out of everything here. Okay, so let's carry on. So again, I just leave this checked on, but remember that if you check it off, you do an update, what's going to happen is you may skip the payment on that Friday if you prefer that.
If your box is not checked on, you won't get paid on that Friday. It'll accumulate, but you won't get paid on that Friday.
Correct. And the minimum amount they will send is $22. Okay, because I'm sure there are fees that are imposed in GotBackup every time you do transactions, and that's probably a minimum for that particular reason. Okay, and also one thing is you can see here, like I have like 12 pages, right? Because it's been so many transactions that's been going on based on our business activities. So obviously, in your case, it might be different. And there will be a number on the bottom once you start filling up this page, and you can scroll from page to page and see what's happening. And you can see also that even before, if you go to your commission, okay, your commission patient option, you see that bar and it says calculating commission. If you go to commission payout, often the amount will show here before it'll show into commission pay option. Excuse me, commission, my commissions. Okay, so just sort of mentioning that it's just, again, sometime when you see exactly how much you've earned, if you go to my payout history, it will display it in there before it shows into my commission. Okay, just sort of mentioning that.
Yeah, when you click on the show the details, you get all your details.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move down to my downline. Let's get there. Cool. Okay, yeah, that's cool, Dorothy. Appreciate the feedback. Okay, so this here is where you are seeing your like let's say the it's a segment of your business. So you're not going to see all the members in your organization on this one. It's kind of a little snapshot from the top rank people in your business, okay, from your position up, and the people you sponsor left and right. If you want to see your complete downline, I want to do this before I get into the people that will show up over here when you sponsor someone. If you click on show my downline tree, okay, this here will give you a wider detail. So you can actually zoom out or zoom in. This becomes very useful when you have a large organization where there's over, 2, 3, 4, even 100 people plus, right? Sometimes it's difficult and you're trying to see what's happening. You can actually zoom out, and what's going to happen is you're going to see a bit more of your genealogy into that one page. Okay. And what you can do is, if they were, let's say there were a lot more people over here, when you click on those, what's going to happen is it will expand from there. So if you're searching, who's doing what's going on, as you click on the body, because there's nobody else underneath here, then it doesn't show. But sometimes you want to sponsor someone on the bottom right or the bottom right or bottom left. You can click on these buttons over here. Okay. It's a bit of a different procedure if you want to sponsor someone inside of someone else for whatever strategy you might be doing in your business. But generally, we always recommend when you build your business and you're starting, you always go to the bottom right and you go to the bottom left. Okay. So in this case, if you say bottom right, it's just going to take you directly. So you don't have to scroll down and click on all the position until you're there. It will take you to the bottom of your position. And you're going to see that if there's someone in your holding tank, it'll be like a gray image over here with 2 open position. And when you click on the gray image, then there will be a little sub menu, like the names of all the, let's say you have more than one person that's in your holding tank. Well, you can select, let's say that 3 people came into your business at different times. Well, you can choose which person you want to be positioned on the bottom right, for example, out of the 3. Maybe that a leader came in, let's say 3rd, because I don't know the timing as to when they chose to engage. But that, it's a leader of yours. And that leader may be able to support some of the people in the downline. So you may want to choose that person before you may select the other 2. Okay. Does that make sense, Tammy?
If I can just add to that, when you have somebody in your holding tank and you had already clicked on the show the full downline, you're going to see all the open spots, even in the open spots of the inside of the people that are there. Okay. So the way we teach people how to build this is not to fill all those circles, but to build your business bottom left, bottom right. Now, there's always a different situation. If you have somebody in your organization that is really working hard and they just need that one person, it's totally up to you whether you want to place somebody on somebody's inside leg. But be very careful with you guys, because we've had a lot of experience in this profession. And if you place somebody on somebody's inside leg, which we've all done, and that person decides they want to step back and they don't want to do anything, that person that you brought in that trusted you is now stuck on somebody's inside leg and nobody's building. So be very careful when you're doing placement. I hope you understand what I'm sharing with you. If you understand what I'm sharing with you, just put a yes in the comment, because that is so important. I've made mistakes way in the past, and I lost relationships because of it, because I wanted to help somebody that was in, and they ended up not doing anything, and then the person that believed in me was stuck on somebody's inside leg. So be very careful in your placements. Excellent.
Yeah. And Vivian, I'm trying to read your comment, but I'm not fully understanding what you're looking for. Can you rewrite this? I want to know why it is that at least those who are to renew their account and the office suspend. If you go to ChatGPT and maybe rephrase, it might help you. I don't know if English may not be your first language, or maybe you had some typos issues. If you can retype this so I can read it better, I can help you there. Okay. And Stefan, yeah. And again, I'm not trying to brag here, folks. Tammy and I are full-time in this business, and that's what we do full-time. We're fully engaged. And remember that we've been in the business for over 2 years. Some of you might just be starting, and there's a lot of business going on right now, and we're constantly out there promoting. So, but I do appreciate the feedback. Okay, great. Everybody answered yes. Okay, perfect. So the other thing,
to renew your account, Vivian, just go to support, and in your notes, just let them know that your account is showing suspended, and you want to reactivate your account. If you want to reactivate with a card that's already existing, maybe it needs to be upgraded. Often, people are suspended not because they didn't have the money on the card, it's because their card had expired. So that's why it's really important to check your emails, because you get email notifications. I notice it shows it's coming from the Now Lifestyle, Now something. You get the email from them saying that you have a member that is showing suspended, and then you can get back to them and make sure that that they're guided properly. All right. It
Yeah.
lets you know.
Okay, now what I was trying to share here, if you can actually search, if you know the ID, and you should, if it's in your personals, and I'll go back to your personal members in a moment where you can see all their IDs. But for example, if you're looking for members, in this case, that's what the ID names are, it will list the ID. And if you click on, for example, let's say member 3, and you say search, well, what the system will do, it will take you right there. And that might be something that you may need to do for some particular reason. You want to understand what's going on in their business, or you want to sponsor someone underneath them, whatever the situation may be. Okay, so the fact here is this is how you can search someone. Another thing too is if you click this arrow going up, it's going to go, you can see here, going up 1 level. So let's say I click on that. You see it brought me up 1 level. So let me go back and search again. And let's say go back to member 4. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to go to member 4. So search. It will take me to member 4. You see, it took me right here. And if you click here, it will take you to the top. So if you click on that, right, it takes you all the way to the top of the branch of that particular, of your business. So just thought of mentioning this now. Okay. So let me get rid of that, and we're back into your downline. Now, in your downline, if let's say someone you've sponsored, okay, someone, maybe they went into your funnel, they put their name, their email, they start receiving emails on your behalf, and in every email, there is a link there that says activate. And let's say they did activate, or that they signed up into the GotBackup, into your GotBackup business. They will not show up in your genealogy tree. They will show up. There will be another menu that will appear. That's going to say, what does it say, Tammy? Holding tank, something like that.
Yes.
Okay. And under holding tank, you can see the name. Let's say you sponsored 4 people. You will have 4 names there. Okay. And this is what we meant, that when the system sees that you have some people in your holding tank, then your genealogy opens up in a sense that you're going to start seeing, let's say that member 2 only has 1 member. Okay. So this might be on his right side. You're going to see there's a left leg that will appear here with a gray circle. Okay. And again, remember what Tammy explained. You don't want to sponsor people and fill every circles, because what you're doing is you're building other people's businesses, which they may not even care. And you're putting your own personals into people's inside leg. And like I say, I just want to underline what Tammy shared, and then they become alienated. You don't want that. So you always want to go bottom right, bottom left. Bottom right, bottom left. Okay, that's my right, my left. Of course, for you, it might be opposite. You know what I mean? Always on the, so that way you're continuing the flow and generating momentum. So the person that you sponsored at the beginning may see, oh, there's 5 new people on his right side. So if they start building their business on their left side, then you can start earning their cycle bonuses. But it's a combination of your effort and their effort, and that's how this all works. Okay.
And Chris, I just want to answer a couple things as we go along, so we don't get behind in that. So, and Alita, welcome to GotBackup, first of all. And there's many trainings in the Global Virtual Opportunities YouTube channel. And if you go to the Saturday trainings, there's lots of basic trainings. And these trainings that we do on Saturday is only for the GotBackup project. Okay. So, yeah, we just want to make sure that, you know, for you to go back and to see what needs to be done, the whole back office, because we just do segments, because an hour goes pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that people are on board and understand where they're at. So welcome again to GotBackup.
So just to continue, so Anita, one thing you can focus on is, for example, here, GotBackup Back Office Training 101. Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, if you go back to the list here, there's a few basic success. Now, Tammy have a more sophisticated version of this, but this is enough to get you started on prospecting, inviting, following up, third-party credibility, handling objections. And I know that a lot of folks will actually build a business through email marketing, and this is all good. This is basically how to interact and follow up with everybody else. These are 90-day plans on getting your business started. So these are trainings that we've done in the past, which right now we've converted into the VIP Boss Street, and we focus there, which is only $10 a month. And it's also commissionable for you if your downline utilizes that. And we go into a bit more sophisticated trainings. But here we focus on, like Tammy said, all the basics and everything that's needed for you to learn about GotBackup. But again, it's just food for thought. Okay.
Yeah, and Hosea, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, there are many people who come into the business and they have a lot of expectations from the people who are bringing them in. And at the end of the day, how we present the opportunity to people will determine a lot of the results that we get. You know, a lot of people, they say, oh, you don't have to do anything. And, you know, you just sit there and people are going to put people under. It's not the way it is. And they're misleading people. And then they come in, then they realize that, you know, it's not all going underneath them. And they have to put some work based on the compensation plan. They have to bring one person personally on their left, one person personally on their right to become a copper and start benefiting from the people below. So how we present it will be the results.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely correct. And understand, folks, that this is not a charity case. This is a legitimate business. It's a distribution network. And of course, everybody would love to have everything done for them. And I just sit back and I just pay my money and I get paid. That'll be awesome. But the reality is you might be lucky to have some spillover because, let's say, the system you're part of, the organization you're part of are doing a lot of sponsoring. And this is really awesome. But Tammy and I have made millions of dollars in these kind of businesses. And the reason we've done that is because we create a culture of support and mentorship and support. So that's the reason why we cover those things. Can you make money just promoting and people signing? Absolutely. But the millions are made by creating culture and a support system. This is what we know. And that's what we teach. So I really appreciate
developing leaders. That's what it's all about. You develop leaders, and the more leaders you have that are building their businesses, the more successful they become, obviously, by becoming leaders. But you also benefit from that because you train them, you brought them in, you're leading them.
I agree.
Who they are today, right?
Yeah. And Dorothy, I really appreciate this feedback here. And I don't want to forget this because very often the emails that you're receiving, remember, any business who sends a lot of emails to promote their business will always eventually end up in people's spam. And that's just normal. I get Microsoft in my spam. I get PayPal in my spam. These are big companies. You understand? So don't think that, oh, how come he's in my, it's just the way things are today. So one thing is make sure you check your spam folder. And if you move from your spam folder into your inbox today, email systems are smart enough to recognize, well, obviously this person wants this email. So the next time, maybe you may have to do it a few more times, but then as you move into your inbox, the next time it will end up in your inbox. This is exactly what happened to me. And right now, all the emails that I receive from GotBackup, they're always in my inbox because my email program knows that I want to view these things. And I do receive a lot because we promote a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to answer Joe's, because this one's really, really important. I think a lot of people, they get a little bit confused on this. So let's say all you're seeing is a left spot open when you have somebody in your holding tank. That's because you're on a right main leg and you have to click on the bottom person, but there could be a lot of people. I would just go ahead and pick and click on the very bottom. It says bottom right. And if you wanted to place that person on the bottom right, then you need to click on that. Then you're going to see that open spot. The moment you click on that open spot, put your cursor on it, you're going to see the username of the person that's sitting in your holding tank. If you click on that and you agree you want to position them there, you have to agree, you guys, when you're positioning people, right? Because once they're there, they're there. And that's probably where you miss that one, Joe. But no worries, because we're building a business, right? We still need to build left, and we still need to build right.
Correct. And I can see, Joe, here, you comment, we are helping people build one leg. They need to initiate to build their inside leg. And again, everybody has different strategies, and there's no right or wrong answer there. What's important is your team understand the expectation of your strategy. So if, let's say, you're building one side to create momentum on one leg, of course, you're not going to cycle if the other leg doesn't build up. So but if they turn around and just want to see all these people sign up, but they don't intend to lift a finger, of course, they're not going to cycle because they're not building the inside leg. And that's what Joey's referring to. So,
and yeah, and you got to be careful with that too, because you may think, oh, I just want to build some momentum. And you're asking your team members to do the same thing. But if they need to make money today, it's not a good strategy. You know, that's why we teach build left and right. Our goal is to build coppers and to teach people to build copper. And to do that and to go up in the ranks by building coppers, you need to have left and right going.
Okay.
So
let's carry on, Tammy, because we're going to be here for a long time, because these are strategy and details. And if you follow our trainings, even folks for the past year or so, you can see that a lot of the information will be answered there. And I need to, in reference to being confused with your program, listen, I know Super Affiliate, they have a strategy that works really, really well for them, but be grateful that you are aware of GotBackup through them. Now, you want to build GotBackup, follow our trainings. We will provide you the information. Okay, so it's totally cool. I'm grateful for companies and teams that are bringing a lot of people on board. Now they're on board. Okay, let's start building your business. Different people have different strategies and different philosophy in how they build their business. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's really dependent on what you're looking for. Okay, so let me see if there's a lot of questions here before I continue. Yeah, I totally agree. Benjamin, this is awesome. Okay. Yes, I agree that Gmail will put GotBack. It's not just Gmail, it's also my Apple. But now, I use the Apple email, and the point here is it's that's what I meant. It started as spam. Now it knows that I want it in my inbox. Okay, but that's what I mean. If you indicate it, it will take care of it next time. So let's carry on. Okay, so when it comes to my direct affiliate, this is where you can focus on your personals. Okay, so again, you're going to see the same members here. You can remember 1, 2. You remember those numbers here? These are your personals based on that position here. And that's what Tammy was telling you about earlier. This is a really cool feature that GotBackup has recently added. And if you go back to the back office, let me just go back here. If I go back here, I can point, because we give more details on that. If you go to your GotBackup back office training 101, we covered that there. Okay. But over here, what's happening is it's telling you that person, member 1, which would normally be a name, you may have a phone number here if they provided it in their email, so you can communicate with them. And it says that they didn't back up their computer yet. Okay. Now the computer app, just to point it out, it's over here. Okay. It's an icon like this. And it shows here, today is the 21st. It did a backup basically at 10:01. Okay. And that's an incremental backup. So this is where it says, see, in my case, it would definitely say yes here. Okay. And also here, it will tell you that on the collaborate so let me point this out here. If I go to GBU Cloud, let's go to my cloud. This is the collaborate and share. You can see here that I have quite a few directories, and there's a lot of directories within those directories. So my report here, if that the person who sponsored me would actually see that, yes, I'm using the collaborate and share, and you can see a pretty big number here. I guarantee you it's a large number. Okay. And it'll also see how many members that I've personally enrolled. Okay. And it would list it over here. So this is really cool because it gives you an idea of who's working in your business and who's not working. And folks, I'm not suggesting that you become a drill sergeant with your personals. Be careful that this is a free army and not everybody has the same goal. Some people They might have maybe thinking, well, if I come across someone, I'll sponsor them. But really what I'm looking for is a 6 terabyte, and I don't mind becoming a member. So don't beat them up if they turn around and didn't sponsor anybody. It's just that it's good for you to know. It would be over here, sorry. It's good for you to know. But this information here, I can tell you that if it's a no and 0 byte, I can tell you that when it comes to pay their next month or the next year membership, it most likely not going to happen. So this is the reason why this is here. There's a logical reason for that. And then you can either email them or call them and say, hey, John, Mary, member 1, can I be of some help in setting and initiating things for you? And that one phone call, this is why I'm saying it's awesome to have everything automated, but we are human beings that require warmth, that required real people. And sometime reaching out to that person. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, and support. Yeah, people want to know people got your back.
Yeah, absolutely. This, I'm telling you, if all of you here that are listening in, pay attention to this. If you log into your back office, you click on my direct affiliate and look at how many of your personals have actually backed up. They might have backed up their cell phone. That's where you would see it on collaborate and share, because it's kind of part of that. And this here, if you back up your computer, that's big. Let me go back here. Okay. You can see I have 3 computers backed up. Okay. So that's what it's looking for. Is this, do you have a rectangle square here? If there isn't any, that means you haven't backed up your computer yet. And it's okay. Maybe you don't want to back up your computer. Maybe you don't have a computer. All you use is your cell phone. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's an indicator to let you know who's doing what and who's utilizing the service. This, if you take advantage of that, it could transform your business. If you duplicate that knowledge in your personals, every single one of you here, okay? It varies between 77 and 72 people here today. If every one of you here will actually log in and check this out, and reach out to your personals that have not initiated a backup yet, okay, then that is an indicator that your business is short term. So I highly recommend you go and focus on that. Anything else you want to add on this, Tammy?
No, let's go to the next one. I'm just looking at the time. I'll go through the next few pretty quick, Chris. So you've got the live webinars. Anybody who is not familiar yet, because there's a lot of new people have come on board. Anything that's available that's driven through the company are here. So if you're looking for English or French or Italian or Spanish, you just click on those to know when the live.
There's been some changes a little bit, because what Joel has done, and I really appreciated that, and I tested it this morning before we do this training. If you click on any of those, it's going to take you to the channel.
Oh, perfect. Okay? That's new.
Yes. And then if you click on playlists, you can see here that we have the African community presentation. We have here, let's see. We have the presentation in Spanish over here. We have French. That's Spanish over here. Sorry. This one over here. Right. So you can click on those and you can see the playlist of the past presentation. I try to stay on top of things. And, but anybody who's presenting, you have access to the playlist. You can add it to those playlists. Okay. So again, just food for thought.
So
being here,
I guess it's going to redirect the
every
webinar
one of them will
replays as
redirect
well.
you
So,
to the channel.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got the GotBackup Leaderboard. You can keep an eye on that, see if any team members are part of the board, so you can congratulate them. There you go.
So you can see the people right now that are currently active. They're all over here. The people you see at the top, they're the ones that have programs and email marketing, and they know their stuff. And that's awesome. Okay. They're constantly recruiting. You can see here, they're all here. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. And if you go to recognition and rank, we're just speeding it up because we got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. Now this over here, you don't see anything, but if you go in yours and you sponsored anybody in your business or anybody happens to be in your downline, you're going to see here some options based on the ranks, and there's buttons that you can click on that will create a beautiful flyer for you that you can download. And so I'm not going to go any further there. So this is basically self-explanatory as you get there. Okay. Same thing. If you have new members that just recently signed up, I'm not sure if this is going to be, oh yeah, I did a test at one point. So if you click on say welcome, what's
You
going
have
to happen,
flyers. Hmm.
it's going to create a flyer for you. Just 1 second here. Dun, dun,
So you want
dun.
to make sure people
Yeah.
put their pictures
And that's the reason
and
why whenever you
information.
sponsor, that's I'm glad you appreciate that, Tammy. See, upload your photo. Make sure that you do that here, folks. Make sure you upload your photo. And from there, and you can do this over here.
Yes.
And again, we have past trainings on that. Upload your photo, not here. This is your person, the person you're recognizing. And then that photo, obviously, if they've entered theirs, you will have their photo over here. And you can turn around and you can download this. When you click on this, it will download it into your computer, and then you can share it into your social media, whatever you want, wherever you have your team
Welcome them
support system.
personally, welcome them in the Facebook group where you can see on the bars there, you can see social media, Facebook, you can join.
Correct. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, over here, what we have here is the leaderboard. This one, it's what's going on in a current week. You can see here the ladder all the way from black diamond to bronze. And again, for your information, bronze, you sponsored one person. Copper, you sponsored one person on your right, one person on your left. That's the building block in building your business. As a silver, that means your business is duplicating. So that means someone in your business became copper from someone that you've enrolled. Okay, it has to come from your enrollment tree. So if someone you enrolled became copper, awesome. But if they didn't, as long as someone that came from their sponsorship, or doesn't matter how many level down they became copper, you will count as a silver. You become a gold when there's 5 people that you're sponsored, and 3 out of those, it may not be the one you sponsor, but it has to come from their position. Then 3 of them became copper. That means that your business is duplicating. When you become a platinum, that's when you shift them from tier 1 to tier 2 and your commissions and the cycle. When you're a platinum, that's when things starts changing. As a sapphire, that's when you start earning a matching cycle, right? So if you go to any of our presentations, I explain that all the way up to emerald. And of course, as you move up into your ranks over here, then of course the compensation plan opens up to you. And this here shows you the top 10 monthly commission earned. Check this out, folks, from time to time. You can see the top 10 people that have earned the top 10 monthly commission earned in that case. Okay. You can see here the top 10 commission of all time. They're all here. You're going to notice that it's similar, pretty much the same people all the time, because these are the people that are always engaged, always supporting their team, and they have leadership within their organization. It's all about the leadership that you bring in on board. It may not be the people you sponsored, but someone you sponsor may bring someone that will take lead, and that leader will grow. And that's where you notice that these are people that are building their businesses, that are leading. This over here, the top 10 weekly sales generated. These are people that have sponsored people into their business. You'll notice that you can see the same ones over here. Absolutely awesome. Okay. Now over here, the top 10 weekly leads. These are people that are promoting their funnel, right?
Mhm.
Their links are being clicked on. They're being clicked on. And that's the reason why we can see here great opportunity. Esther, Michael, Dave Lear, and these guys. What's happening is that their links are being clicked on. Okay. So that's what this is with the leaderboard. And then we have the
Congratulations. That's great consistency. And Dorothy, great message. It is about being consistent. The more consistent you are, the faster your business is going to grow. So be consistent at constantly promoting, and be consistent on your follow-ups, because that's when people start making decisions. So make sure that you have a great follow-up system, whether it's an email system or you have a system where you just connecting with people that you know or you've met through social media. So the consistency is key.
Okay, so now I click the next option here, which is your new comp plan rank. This is a page that you should be very familiar with, because it tells you how many people you sponsored. That's based on that position over here, GB demo. And it tells you how many people you have active on the left and how many people you have active on the right. Okay, you would say L number and R number. Okay, obviously that's not an active position. That's why there's nothing there. And the enrollment tree, it tells you here, and there's just I'm used to see a number there, so I'm just a little bit. But these reports are based on the people that are in your enrollment tree and the spillover. These are the amounts that will show into your business and the amount of copper per line of enrollment. For example, you'll find that a lot of people don't put someone on the left, someone on the right. Okay. For example, on my right there, I have something like 40 people, right? They're in the business, they're active, but they haven't sponsored one on the left, one on the right yet. So they're not coppers. So you see those IDs and you can contact these people. And of course, it goes all the way up. And I have quite a few people there. Some have 8 coppers, some have 10 coppers, some have 12 coppers, some have lots
More.
and,
Yeah.
and way more. So this is the reason why Tammy and I are Blue Diamond. It's because we have leaders and we teach duplication, copper, copper, copper. And this here is a really good report because it reminds you, as a bronze, you sponsor one person. As a copper, you sponsor 2 people, one on the left, one on the right. As a silver, same 2, but there's one on the left, one on the right, but someone became a copper. Doesn't have to be one of your personals as long as it's deviate from one of your personals. And it goes on. As a goal, you had 5, 2 on your left, 2 on your right. And look at this placement over here. This line, this column here does not change. Okay. It's really cool. You need 2 on the left, 2 on your right. That's why we teach that right away. And then you need to have 25 people in your business. 25 has to come from an enrollment tree. Of course, the spillover will be combined because it's really part of your spillover. It's part of your enrollment tree. And what it says here, 1-3, what this means is you have 3 coppers, but it's 1 copper in 3 separate enrollment tree. So out of the 5 people that you have over here, well, 3 of those people, maybe not them, but within their line of sponsorship, someone became copper. That's what this means.
In 3 separate lines. Yes.
Correct. And you see what happens as a platinum? You need to sponsor 10, but look what's really cool. For platinum, sapphire, and emerald are the same 10. So they're asking you to do the work at the beginning. And that's why when we teach you in our presentations to get 10 people in our trainings, a compensation plan, copper, 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 and then get 10 people. That's because we want to teach you right away to start preparing to qualify for emerald. This doesn't change. The difference here is the enrollment is growing because people are duplicating. People are bringing people to become copper. That's what this happens. That's why here it says instead of 3, now there's a 4th person that became copper in a separate enrollment tree. So out of the 10 people here, there are 4 people that became copper. If not them, someone in their downline became copper. Okay. So that's what this means. And that's where it becomes interesting because you're moving from tier 1 to tier 2. And then as a sapphire, you don't have to sponsor anymore. Your 10 are cool. You got your 2 on the left, 2 on your right. Now you're moving from 40 to 50 people on your team. But now there's one more person that became copper. You see how this works here, folks? So out of the 10 people you sponsor, well, there is 5 that became copper. If it's not them, someone in their downline, in their sponsorship line that became copper. So this is where it becomes very attractive. And look at this, folks. Even as an emerald, we're not asking you to sponsor hundreds and hundreds of people. What we're asking you to do is duplicate coppers. That's what it's all about. And as you do this, I'm telling you that these numbers are going to grow very fast, very, very fast. Okay.
Yeah, and get to gold as quick as possible. And
Yeah.
to do that, you got to build out coppers because gold is the core rank.
Yes.
And once people are gold, they're excited because they're really benefiting from quite a bit. So, and the building that foundation, that's the key, is get that foundation going and have everybody duplicating the small things. And yeah, and Dr. KOA was seeing that. It's all about the follow-up. That's where the business is in the follow-up process. We always say no follow-up, no money. So, Chris, Joe has a question there as well on the bottom.
Yeah, if we have no spill, do the team qualification applies to the higher ranks? Okay, so if you have no spill, what's going to happen is
Spillover, yeah.
like I don't have a lot of spillover here, folks. I have a very productive team. So my enrollment tree number is almost equal to my spillover. There might be a little bit, but really it's the team that we brought on board that are contributing, right? So that 100 over here, it's not spillover, it's the enrollment tree. But what the system says, hey, we're going to help you. Maybe your team that you brought in is not as effective, but we'll accept half from spillover. And that happens. Okay. But folks, don't count on spillover to determine your future.
Build your
If it's there, great. For me, that's what we consider a bonus. But I'm never relying on spillover to build my business. It's always based on the people that were personally enrolled by our position, and let's work with them and let's expand, let's explore, let's educate. And that's always been our philosophy. And that's why we've always been successful in network marketing. We never depend on uplines ever. No. And if they happen to provide, awesome, but we do not depend on them whatsoever. Okay, otherwise we'd be starving, because then you're putting your faith in someone else's, which they may not deliver at all. And if they do, awesome. And if you have a team that sponsors lots of people, awesome. But take responsibility from your business and start working with the core group of people that are willing to duplicate. That's what it's all about. So I guess we end the last point here, folks, that's very, very important here is your cash contest. These are great initiative. And I noticed that there's a little bit of a requirement that is needed here. I'm just waiting for the system to come back to me here. There we go. Okay. So you can see here, we have 9 days. Okay. But here's the thing. First place have to have a minimum of 15 enrollment. Okay. So again, this is to make sure that if, let's say, we have a very slow month and people are not doing so much, but it just happened to be first, you need to have at least 15 new enrollment. Remember, folks, that's a $10 a month service. It's not like you're asking people to spend $1,000 to get started here. It's $10 a month. Okay. And if you pay for the year, it's 100. And if you pay for your membership the first time, then it's $20. Right? So $120, really. So these are the requirements, which makes a whole lot of sense. And to be honest with you, these people have done a lot more than that anyway. Okay. And you can see here the people that are in the top 10 ranks. They're right over here. Okay. So in closing, what we're saying here, folks, is we have a really, really good business model here. We have a great opportunity. And every presentations that we do, and not just Tommy and I, but from all the leadership that are presenting, that are here today, attend their presentations.
Yes.
And pick one that you can relate from, right? True. Tammy and I, every Wednesday, we're there for the company presentation. Joel has asked us to take that over, and we absolutely love doing it. And every Friday we do our own, and it's in the afternoon. We had a great session yesterday. You're very welcome to attend. I know we have some Italian versions, we have Spanish versions. Maria does an excellent presentation in Spanish. And I know she has other members that are supporting her. And I know Dr. Keoway and Dr. Doherty and Enionam. And I know there's others that they're presenting regularly. And they have their own WhatsApp group. Their teams are aware of their WhatsApp group. And everybody's aware of what's going on. I know we have a Telegram group that everybody's aware of everything we do. So take advantage of this stuff and keep showing up to these presentations. And eventually, I would really recommend that you start doing your own presentations. And you will find that when your team sees you present, it builds confidence from your team membership that, oh, I got a great leader that's presenting. He does or she does a great presentation. I'm going to show up to hers or his. Or I like the one that we do on Wednesday evening. It's kind of the company presentation, and it's the kind of end of week presentation. You're very welcome to attend. So I guess,
Chris, if I can just add at the end here, because not everybody has great leaders in this business model. I mean, some people just sign up through affiliate, through online, and they really don't have any experience or trainings. That's why the VIP coaching is so important. I know that myself personally, I mean, Chris and I are part of the training as well. We've built large organizations over the last 25 plus years globally. So we have a lot of global experience in building. And Joel has a lot of experience in online marketing. And I learned a ton with his course. And this is only available through the VIP coaching. And it's $10 a month to get coaching. There's live coaching once a month. There's new courses that are uploaded in that. I've never, Chris, got this much value from different coaching for $10.
No, I
For
totally
10 bucks.
agree.
We've spent
And Chris, I got your
thousands of
message.
dollars in
Yeah, I
coaching.
will check it out today. I will respond to the message there. And what Chris referencing is we have a VIP program. It's a VIP coaching. And folks, $10 a month. It's absolutely a no brainer. It's a joke, to be honest with
And
you.
it's extra hands-on,
Companies,
right?
leaders. A lot of leaders are going to charge $30,000 a year. We've been with these guys for a long time, and not to condense, to put down anything to do. It's awesome, but we know the stuff.
We learned it.
We're living out of it. We're making a living out of it. We have properties in Florida, property in Toronto. We have a great lifestyle. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to impress upon you that the knowledge we have, we live out of. We're not just teaching you this and going back to our job. That is our job. That's what we do for a living. So going and learn from people like us and Joel, you will definitely be impacted in a way that will help you grow your business. I guarantee it too, because we've done it for too long. We've seen the transformation in so many people over the years. So Chris, I will get back to you as soon as I have a moment here, but do take advantage of that. And the greatest thing is Joel create a system that if your downline takes advantage of this VIP program, guess what? You are getting compensated. You're getting 25% if the VIP options that are in a compensation plan, right? On the cab. Well, you get paid for that. So if you have 10 people on there, you're going to get paid on 10 people. So take advantage of these things, folks. Yeah. Not only we provide the knowledge and the wealth that we want to pay it forward, but you get compensated for it. So you get paid for the work that we do to train your downline. So I don't know.
All the learning that they get, and they're going to be building their businesses where you benefit from that as well. And you get to focus on just building.
Correct.
So yeah.
And I know on Monday night, Tammy and I are doing a training on the attributes of leadership. That is a really good training that we've done. We've done it in South Africa. We've done it in Dubai. We've done this in Ghana. We've done it in the Philippines. We've done this in all over Canada, United States Australia. For years. So this is and it's based on John C. Maxwell, the 5 levels of leadership. So if you want to take advantage of that, you're very welcome to join us in. But of course, you have to be a Boss Street member. So have yourself a great rest of your weekend. We certainly appreciate you. And we look forward to see you in our presentation on Wednesday, Friday. And again, take advantage of presentations from all the leadership that are providing them every week. Have a great one. And bye for now.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.